Step-by-step guide to deploying and managing microservices on AWS EC2. This podcast is brought to you by Business Compass LLC. We are an Amazon Web Services advanced consulting partner. We build and migrate workloads to Amazon Cloud. Our website is businesscompassllc.com. Our phone number is 973-638-2228. Our email address is contact@businesscompassllc.us. In today's rapidly evolving tech landscape, microservices have become the backbone of modern applications, enabling scalability, flexibility, and rapid deployment. AWS EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud, is a robust, reliable, and scalable solution for deploying microservices. This podcast will walk you through launching and configuring microservices on AWS EC2, from the basics to advanced management. Introduction to AWS EC2. Understanding the basics of cloud compute. AWS EC2 is a web service that provides resizable compute capacity in the cloud, allowing developers to build and deploy applications at scale. With EC2, you can launch virtual servers, known as instances, and run your applications with complete control over the computing environment. Understanding the basics of EC2 is essential for anyone looking to leverage the power of cloud computing for deploying microservices. Critical benefits of AWS EC2. Scalability. Easily scale up or down based on your application's needs. Flexibility. Choose from various instance types optimized for different workloads. Cost-effectiveness. Pay only for what you use with flexible pricing options. Security. Built-in features like VPC, Virtual Private Cloud, security groups, and IAM roles ensure your instances are secure. Preparing for EC2 launch, configuring security groups and key pairs. Before launching an EC2 instance, setting up security groups and critical pairs is crucial. Configuring security groups. Security groups act as virtual firewalls, controlling inbound and outbound traffic to your EC2 instances. When configuring a security group, allow SSH access, open port 22 so SSH can securely connect to your instance. Open application ports. Depending on your microservice, you may need to open additional ports, for example, port 80 for HTTP, port 443 for HTTPS. Restrict IP ranges. Limit access to your instance by specifying IP ranges allowed to connect. Creating key pairs. A key pair consists of a public key that AWS stores and a private key that you store. The private key is used to SSH your EC2 instance securely. Generate a key pair. Use the AWS Management Console or CLI to generate a key pair. Download the private key. Store it securely, as you will need it to access your EC2 instance. Launching an EC2 instance, step-by-step guide using AWS CLI and Management Console. Using the AWS Management Console. Navigate to EC2, log into the AWS Management Console and navigate to the EC2 dashboard. Launch instance. Click Launch Instance and select an Amazon Machine Image, AMI, based on your requirements. Choose Instance Type. For a lightweight microservice, select an instance type that suits your workload, such as T2.micro. Configure instance details. Set the number of instances, network settings, and IAM role if needed. Add storage. Choose the storage type and size for your instance. Tag instance. Add tags to organize and identify your instance. Configure security group. Select an existing security group or create a new one. Review and launch. Review your settings, select your key pair, and launch the instance. Using AWS CLI. Open Terminal. Ensure you have the AWS CLI installed and configured with your credentials. Run Launch Command. AWS EC2 run instances image EADMEXXXXXXXXX instance type T2.micro key name. Key pair security group IDS SGXXXXXXXXXX count 1 tag specifications resource type equals instance, tags equals key equals name, value equals my microservice. Verify instance. Use AWS EC2 describe instances to verify your instance is running. Connecting to your EC2 instance, establishing secure SSH connections. Once your instance runs, you must connect to it securely using SSH. Steps to connect. Set permissions. Ensure your private key.pim file has the correct permissions. Chmod 400 mykeypair.pim. Connect via SSH. SSHI, mykeypair.pim EC2 user at EC2 2020 compute1.amazonoz.com. Confirm connection. You should now be logged into your EC2 instance. Optimizing your EC2 instance, updating the OS and installing essential packages. After connecting to your EC2 instance, it's essential to update the operating system and install the necessary packages for optimal performance. Update the OS. Sudo yum update yhash for Amazon Linux. Sudo apt get update hash for Ubuntu. Install essential packages. Git, for version control. Docker, if your microservices are containerized. Ngink/Apache, for web servers. Node.js/Python, depending on your application's runtime. Sudo yum install git docker yhash Amazon Linux. Sudo apt get install git docker.io yhash Ubuntu. Deploying your microservice, uploading, configuring, and running your application. With your instance prepared, it's time to deploy your microservice. Steps to deploy. Upload your code. Use SCP to transfer your application code to the EC2 instance. SCPI, mykeypair.pim/path/2/myapp.zip ec2 user at ec2 2020 compute1.amazonoz.com:/home/ec2 user/. Unzip and configure. Unzip your application and configure it as needed. Unzip myapp.zip. cd myapp. Run your microservice. Start your microservice using the appropriate command for your application. For example, npm start, python app.py. Managing your EC2 instance, starting, stopping, and terminating instances. Proper management of your EC2 instances is crucial for cost optimization and ensuring that resources are only used when necessary. Key management commands. Start an instance. AWS EC2 start instances. Instance ids eds ixxxxxxxxxxx. Stop an instance. AWS EC2 stop instances. Instance IDs ixxxxxxxxxx. Terminate an instance. AWS EC2 terminate instances. Instance IDs ixxxxxxxxxxxxxxxx. Essential EC2 commands. Quick reference for managing EC2 instances. Command description. AWS EC2 describe instances. View details of your EC2 instances. AWS EC2 create image create an AMI from an existing instance. AWS ECI2 reboot instances reboot an instance. AWS EC2 create snapshot create a snapshot of an EBS volume. AWS EC2 monitor instances enable detailed monitoring for an instance. AWS ECI2 unmonitor instances disable detailed monitoring for an instance. Conclusion and next steps, key takeaways and further learning. Launching and configuring microservices on AWS EC2 is a powerful way to take advantage of the cloud's flexibility, scalability, and security. With this podcast, you've learned how to set up your EC2 environment, launch and connect to an instance, optimize its performance, deploy your microservice, and manage your resources effectively. Key takeaways. Understand the basics of AWS EC2 and its importance in deploying microservices. Properly configure security groups and key pairs for secure instance management. Use AWS Management Console and CLI to launch and manage your EC2 instances. Ensure your instance is optimized and secure by updating the OS and installing essential packages. Deploy and manage your microservice with ease using SSH and EC2 management commands. Further learning. Explore AWS auto-scaling to scale your microservices automatically based on demand. Learn about AWS Elastic Load Balancing, ELB, to distribute traffic across multiple EC2 instances. Dive deeper into AWS IAM roles to manage access and permissions effectively. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Please share this podcast, visit our website, and follow our social media links.